Steve Robbins here. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys, quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. How do you pursue awesome, world-changing goals? Many of my coaching clients have been entrepreneurs or they've aspired to C-level positions for which there's no real set formula. They've pursued new markets and new products. They write 60-page business plans. But why? Goal setting when something hasn't been done before isn't useful because those goals can't be planned. Some goals have a predictable, known path. Want to build a building? Everything you need to do is well understood. You can make plans that are accurate enough to predict the cost in advance. You can gather the resources you need and so on. It's a project with a well-established path. But one-off goals don't have a set path. In fact, the goal itself may change over time. And in those cases, a plan is just a fantasy that our brain uses to have the delusion of control, where in fact, there is none. Life is a dress rehearsal. I got into theater in 2009 after seeing a local college performance of Bear, a pop opera, which has now become an off-Broadway show, Bear the Musical. I met producers. I met actors like Missy Pyle, who plays Sister Joan in the off-Broadway production of Bear. And it opened up my world. These passionate, driven people live in a world that is so ambiguous it makes my head hurt just thinking about it. They're crazy, insane, and stark raving mad. We have a lot to learn from them about goal setting. Trade your goals for aspirations. Actors have aspirations, but not really goals, because in their industry, success can't be planned. My friend Steph's aspiration is to become the most amazing singer, dancer, and actor Broadway has ever seen. Here's what his plan might look like. Step 1, learn to sing, dance, and act. Step 2, audition. Step 3, get a part as the lead in a Broadway musical. Step 4, become the most awesome performer ever. Inspiring on paper. Transferable to real life. Not likely. Thank goodness business careers are more stable. Goal setting is possible in business, right? Wrong. A recent Harvard MBA's plan was this. Step 1, accept job offer at super big bank. Step 2, make $200,000 a year starting salary at the age of 27. Step 3, become richer than Midas. Now this plan seems more reasonable, but of course it isn't. 3 weeks into the job, super big bank got bought by super big bailed out bank, and he got laid off. Wah ha, joke's on him. At least Steph knows deep down that acting success doesn't come that predictably. When you have unplannable aspirations, don't waste time making up arbitrary yearly, weekly, or monthly goals. You're trying to create a roadmap, but none exists. Steph has no roadmap to fame and fortune, but he aspires to work as an actor. That aspiration becomes a compass. In any given moment, he can use it as a touchstone to know if he's getting closer or further from his dream. Obsess not on your plan, but obsess on where you want to go. You don't know what path you'll take, but use your aspiration as a compass to know the direction to go from wherever you are today, from however far along you are at this point. You want a series of experiments. You do need movement to go in a direction. In an unplannable world, you move by experimenting. Decide what you think will get you closer to your aspiration. Then do that, but treat it as an experiment. Set a time limit, and then find out if it brought you closer or farther from your goal, using your compass, which is your aspiration. Over time, you'll learn what works for you, given your current set of circumstances. For example, to grow your small business, you could pursue partnerships. You could try direct sales. You could use distributors. So try each as an experiment, one at a time, if you can't really do them all at once, which might be too much. Learn where the opportunity lies and then shape your company accordingly. A chain of doctors' offices became a provider of internet software services. In an experimental world, you never know where you're going to end up. Cultivate opportunity. Each experiment should teach you where the opportunity does and doesn't lie. You're not just acting randomly. Put yourself where opportunity is bound to pass by. Around people who are moving, shaking, making things happen, and bathing regularly. Missy Pyle's an experienced actress. She knows people from all over the performing industry, film, TV, and theater. The more relationships she has, the more opportunities will pass her way. Even if you're in a job, make opportunities by meeting people. Attend conferences, get business cards, and stay in touch. Choose projects where you meet people inside and outside your company so that they get to know you and the quality of your work. Of course, You must seize opportunity when it arises. Once you're in the middle of the flow, moving and shaking and getting to know people, opportunity will knock. So, answer. Missy found her current off-Broadway role because the playwright was a friend of hers. She was headed to New York on an unrelated family visit. He heard about it and asked her to stop by to audition. She said yes. The rest is history. Develop useful skills. Finally, continuously develop your skills so that you can be a good fit for more opportunities. If Missy can sing, dance, act, and do a convincing imitation of a 45-year-old homicide detective from Queens, then she can get roles that other less talented folk can't. Plus, if you take classes, you meet other students. Other students are people, and where there are people, there are opportunities. Measure your progress by process. With traditional goals, it's obvious when you're making progress. I plan to have 10 clients by June. Well, if you have 10 clients, you're meeting your goal. But how do you measure your progress when the path itself is uncertain? Actors are making progress when they audition. Lots, like 15 times a week. They can't measure progress by any one part they get, but they can measure progress by how often they audition and how often they get asked for parts without needing to audition. These are process measures. Those are measures of effort and of process. I discussed them in detail in my episode on how to set the right goals. There's a link in this episode's transcript to that episode. Measure your effort and your learning, not just your outcomes. Getting 10 clients by June isn't under your control, but make 5 prospecting calls a day is. Remember, you're experimenting, not planning. Your experiment is the process of making 5 calls a day. After a few weeks or months, you use your aspiration compass, having 10 clients, to decide whether it's worth continuing that process. Has making 5 prospecting calls a day led to opportunities? If not, it's time for a new experiment. But if so, maybe it's time to up it to 10 calls a day. Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, so take lessons from an actor. I've interviewed Missy Pyle about what it's like to live in a career of complete uncertainty. There's a link to the interview in this episode's transcript. Now, put this into practice. Next time you want something that isn't plannable, let go of plans. Don't set goals. Set experiments. And use your aspiration as a compass. Cultivate opportunity by meeting people. Make yourself more attractive by learning more. And measure your progress through effort and process. You may or may not reach your original aspiration, but you'll have a far more intriguing, fascinating journey than you ever dreamed. This is Steve Robbins. Find this episode's transcript with links to my episode on process goals and the interview with Missy Pyle at getitdone.quickanddirtytips.com. I help business people hone their strategy and pursue new markets and new opportunities. If you want to know more, visit steverobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.